Oh. Oh, that's like cheating. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Tiberious back again with another video. First, my friends at the Elite Indoor Gun Range lent us the Staccato P for a review. Then they lent us the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 380 Easy, or whatever the model number is, for a review. Now they lent us the Sig P320 X5 Legion. What is up with all these guns with huge names? How many P320s has Sig made? I just kind of thought of this. There's been quite a few of them. I don't know how many, but let me see how many I can name. There's been the subcompact, the compact, the full size. Then there's been the RX compact or the RX carry, whatever it was called. The TAC Ops, obviously the M17 and M18. The X5, the X carry, the X compact, the X5 Legion. That's all I can think of. But if I missed any, drop them in the comments. Let me know. So this is a big, beautiful gun that comes in this nice, big, gray case. It is lockable right here. Typical paperwork, replacement fiber optic sights, stickers, all of those good things. It does come with 3 metal magazines. Each one of these magazines holds 17 rounds of 9mm. It is made in the good old US of A. On the bottom of your magazine here, you do have, once my camera focuses, there we go. You do have the Legion logo on the bottom, and it is made by Henning Group. It's a weighted bottom, so when you hit that magazine release, they fly out very quickly, which is obviously something you would want in a competition pistol. Now, the mag well on this gun is super generous. It is very large. It is weighted. It is removable if you don't like it. And then the beveling on it is just, it is very easy to get a magazine in with that generous bevel. Even if you don't angle it perfectly, it's just simple. The grip is the most innovative and unique thing about this pistol. It is a polymer grip that is tungsten infused. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get the weight of a steel gun, but you get the flex and the recoil reduction of a polymer gun. And you saw in the intro, the first time I shot this gun, I was giggling like a little schoolgirl because it was so easy and so fun to shoot with the added weight on the grip and the weight of the magwell. Excuse me. On top of that, you do have a very generous undercut here to get a little higher up on the gun, and a pretty big beaver tail, which is very kind of necessary with the P320. They don't have the lowest bore access, so it's nice to get a little higher up on the gun. Now this grip module, like other P320s, you can purchase different grips and swap them. Now there's certain requirements for slides, but if you wanted a grip like this, they go $250, $300 in that area. And if you don't know, with P320s, the metal frame, the metal chassis, the fire control unit, you can lift that out and bring it from gun to gun, which I will show you when we get to the disassembly part in a minute. Moving up to the slide release and the mag release, I am going to say, for me, in my hands, they are perfect. If you watch any of my pistol reviews, you know I am a slide release junkie, and if the slide release isn't right, I have a very bad problem with that gun. But I can reach both the magazine release and the slide release with this gun without readjusting my grip, which again for me is a very big deal. It's just in a good spot, perfect size. I didn't accidentally push either one of them, but I can reach them very easily when I want to. Your mag release is reversible. It is not ambi, which I am very happy about. I prefer it to be that way. And then your slide release is ambi. So if you're a lefty or, I don't know, shooting offhand, which I can't imagine happens too much in competitions, then they nailed it for the slide release and the magazine release. Now the trigger. I'm going to upset some people here. The trigger is okay. It's decent. I've read some research. People say they love the trigger. It's the best trigger ever. It depends what your expectations are and what you're comparing it to. If you're going to compare it to like some of the guns I reviewed recently, like a Staccato P, or even better, a Shadow 2, Wilson Combat EDC X9. And I know those guns are significantly more expensive than this one, but the trigger on all of those guns is significantly better. If you're going to compare this trigger to other P320s or a Glock or something, it is a trillion times better than any of those other triggers. But compared to other competition guns, it's decent. So let me show you what I mean. You don't have much take up, a little bit. You have a very good wall. It's good. It's good. It's not bad. And then your reset. There's your reset. The reset's kind of long, not really tactile. It's a little bit audible. I'm sure you heard it. But let me show you one more time. There's your take up. There's that break. Sorry, I have a magazine in. And then there's your reset. So don't get me wrong. This was one of, if not the best gun I've ever shot at close-up. If I was within 50 yards, I shot this gun so fast and so accurately, even without putting a red dot on it, it was amazing. Now there's other guns, like the Shadow 2 and the Q5 Match that I'm working on a review on for, that I shot more accurately at distance, but close-up, this is one fast gun. Now the pistol does have a standard 1913 Picatinny rail for you to add whatever lights, lasers, doohickeys that you want to add on the gun. You can absolutely do so with the X5 Legion. The slide has a ton going on, so let me see if I can go through all of this without missing anything. I think the most importantly, it is cut for an optic. Now it is cut for a Lupo Delta Point or a Sig Romeo 1 Pro or Pro 1, whatever it is. You can get accessory plates for RMRs or Holosons or whatever dots you want to add if you don't want the Romeo or the Loophole. Now one big disadvantage, when you run a dot on this pistol, you lose the rear sight. So if it's for competitions, I don't think that's going to bother most people, not a big deal. But if you are going to use this gun for home defense, which I can't imagine a ton of people do, but it would be a good home defense gun, you know, 17 or 20 rounds. It's really big, super accurate. It wouldn't be a bad gun for home defense. You do lose that rear sight. Now, some of those plates you can get gives you a dovetail so you can add back a rear sight. So that's kind of the optic system, a summary of the optics system. It does have rear serrations here, and then it also has front serrations. So press check, either way, you'll be good to go, it will work. Now the top does have some slide relief cuts on the top to lighten up the weight a little bit. And then the sights. The sights are fantastic. They're Dawson Precision adjustable sights. So they are adjustable if you want to adjust them. Nice blacked out rear. And then the very bright fiber optic green sight. Love the sights. These are actually, for the first time I had to replace fiber optic on a front sight. I was shooting, it fell out, and I was like, oh, I've never done this before. It looks easy, let's give it a try, and I replaced it. And it's super easy. If you ever need to, just check out Dawson Precision's website. They have a video on there. It makes it super easy. I think that's it for the slide, really. Let me show you guys how to take one of these apart now. So the first thing we're going to do is lock the slide to the rear. Get that magazine out. Obviously you check to make sure it's unloaded, which I did a long time ago before the video started. We're gonna the takedown lever here, we're gonna rotate that down. Some P320s this lever is really easy, some it's stiff. This is a tough one. Once we rotate that lever down like so, we're gonna send the slide forward and it comes right off. No need to pull the trigger. You have a couple unique things here. One is going to be the recoil spring. Let me try to show you how to take this thing out. It's under a good amount of pressure, so be careful, and it's kind of tough to put it back in. But if you look at this recoil spring, it is a 1911 recoil spring, and it comes with two. It comes with a 14-pounder and a 12-pounder, but you can swap out different 1911 recoil springs if you want to shoot custom loads and you want the gun to work the way you want it and dial it in for your ammo. The recoil spring, the guide rod is steel. Very, very good. The barrel is a very large 5-inch bull barrel that's made from carbon steel, and it does have a slight crown on it as well. I was able to get some hits out to 100 yards, and I'm going to assume this is me, not the gun, but I struggled more with this gun at distance than any other gun that I've shot before. Well, not any other gun. Most guns that I've shot before. Like if you look at my VP9 SK video, I was easily getting shots at 100 yards. My P365, which is the tiny gun, I was getting hits out to 75 yards. Hell, the high point, I was getting hits 60, 70 yards if I remember correctly. But something about this gun, it was probably the sights need to be adjusted. Again, it's not my gun. I didn't want to go in there and adjust them. But I definitely struggled once I got past 75 yards or so. Pulling up the dimensions here, as you can see, it is a big, heavy gun. It is not made for appendix concealed carry, even though I'm sure some crazy people out there do it. It is, with that weight, it is an absolute dream to shoot at the range. Perfect for competitions. The added weight of the magwell and the grip just eat up a lot of that recoil, and you can shoot this gun really, really, really fast. I love the slide release and the mag release. They are absolutely perfect for my hands. And I have to say this is probably the fastest gun I've been able to shoot out of any other gun. Or one of the fastest, if not the fastest. I'd have to think about that one for a little while. Now the trigger, like I said earlier, it depends on your expectations. If you're going to compare it to a P320 or a Glock or pretty much any other polymer wonder, then this trigger is significantly better than those. But if you're going to use it for competitions and you're going to compare it to a Shadow 2 or a Staccato or anything like that, it is definitely not to that level. Again, those guns are significantly more expensive than this one. You could easily buy this gun, upgrade the trigger, and still be significantly less than any of those guns that I just mentioned. As far as cons, I don't really have any cons. Again, the trigger, depending how you look at it, the trigger is not great. I don't like that you lose the rear sight when you add a dot on. For competitions, not a huge deal. Home defense, personal defense, it may be a different story. That's obviously up to you. Uses, we've said it 10 times, this is a competition gun through and through. You could use it for home defense if you wanted, personal defense if you wanted to, especially if you had a couple 21 round magazines, but I think 99% of the people who get this gun are going to use it for competitions. One more time, let me thank my friends at the Elite Indoor Gun Range in Peacedale Shooting Preserve. They lent us this gun like they had a few others, and their support is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you are looking to support the channel, there are several ways to do so. Just clicking that like button or dropping a comment is a huge help. Also consider subscribing. We have lots of cool reviews coming that I do not think you are gonna want to miss. If you want to see what we have coming up next, please consider liking us on Instagram and Facebook. The links for both of them are down below, and I always show what reviews I am working on. Last but certainly not least, right now we have two channel sponsors. M2 Tactical Solutions makes the nicest Kydex gear in the game, and Howling Beard Company, if you have a beard and you want to make it nice and soft and sexy, check out Howling Beard Company. Discount codes for both of them is Tiberious in caps, and you can save yourself 10%. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace!